quite honestly is not in any of the resource material that I think we currently have out there for you as a parent or volunteer to use. Just trying to read or get a 9-year-old or, again, even a 16-year-old to understand what record book objective number 1 is about obtaining a broad knowledge of 4-H projects. I mean, I'm going to pick on whoever came up with the last record book keeping system, because I was on 4-H faculty at the time. It wasn't me or Derrick. But I think these objectives are nice thoughts, but they're not kid-friendly. And I don't know about you, but I think it's harder than all get out to figure out, okay, what record book objective do we meet by going to the vet clinic and learning how to give injections? And what record book objective did we meet by doing, whatever activity it is? And so, to me, that's one of the things that bogs down families a lot, is trying to figure out the record book objectives and what each of the different learning experiences correlates to in the record book system. So, we kind of have some thoughts on this too that we'll share, but I mean, your experiences with the record book objectives, and these 5 objectives, of course, the objectives themselves are on the State 4-H website and they're easy to find. It's just the little green words and parentheses behind them that, to me, help just kind of capture it all. That I honestly just saw in a document earlier this year, and I've been employed by Extension for 12 years now, so. I'm like, oh, if I had just seen those little green words before, that would have really helped me. So, do y'all struggle with dealing with sorting through the objectives and?
Go ahead. My daughter, I mean, this is the black and white of it. Very few kids actually do their record books.
Yes, good point.
I have a son that's 21. He was handicapped and had lots of disabilities. He never even looked at his record book. Actually, I didn't allow him to touch his record. My daughter is 12. She's a writer. Is commended on the tax writing. That part of it, she looks at me like I'm an idiot when I want her to even attempt to try to help her with this. She wants to write the stories and insert the pictures, but that. It's like she looks at me like I have no clue what any of this means, don't want to know what it means. She wants to help with her record, but when she looks at that, she's not even going to start reading it.
Yeah. I just think we've overcomplicated the system, I think is what our problem is we've made it to where our young people almost can't do it themselves.
I think that a very, kid in GT or very extremely smart child could do their own record book. I've been in 4-H for many, many years, and I've seen two kids do their own record book in my county.
Sure.
Saying it
no, and I appreciate your honesty, and I think there's probably many of you in this room that are shaking your head going, yeah, I've seen it too, or that happens in my own family. Yeah.
2 kids in our county I've seen do their own record book. I think there would be many more kids to do their own if they could
understand.
Yeah.
Sure. So, I think, again, having some objectives or general ideas of why we're doing this is fine, but I don't know that we need to tie every learning experience that we do to the specific objective. I personally would rather see your child sitting down at the beginning of the year and writing a goal or 2 of what they themselves say they want to accomplish, and then at the end of the year telling me, did I accomplish it or not? I think that's more valuable, to me or to our 4-H program is, did the kids set a goal and were they able to reach that goal, or if they weren't, did something happen along the way and they can reevaluate it and try again next year, rather than saying, did I acquire life skills essential for becoming an active, skilled, productive, and responsible citizen? So, although those are things that we want out of our kids, I just think that, I don't know, to me, that's
too adultified.
Agreed, yes. Yes, ma'am.
Even adultified, these are kind of over some people, they're just like, huh?
Yeah. I feel like someone at the university wrote that, and I'm like, whoa, okay.
Well, we got counted off in our record book. I have an 8-year-old GT student who does use big words, but we used some of these words because we were reading this and stuff, and we got counted off in our record book because it said, is this appropriate for his age to be doing that? And I was like, I did. I got so highly frustrated because I said, but this is what you're giving us.
Yes.
And then you're expecting us not to do that. And then my poor little 8-year-old was sitting here reading that comment going, well, what do they want me to do?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I want to share this story. When we were judging, that's one of my other pet peeves. I don't like to judge record books unless I'm alone. Because all the other people in the room are making all these comments, and I just get so infuriated. But she was reading out loud a line out of this kid's story that said something to the effect that we went and toured such and such lamb farm to buy my lambs for the year, and there were lots of lambs there. And she was like, you know, kind of making fun of the kid's statement. And of course I said, okay, so all that tells me is that the mama didn't write that.
The kid
He
wrote
did.
it. Yeah.
And I said, so I'm thinking, that's a pretty dang good thing right there. And she was like, but I'm not, you know.
No, and y'all, I mean, I realize y'all may be thinking, okay, you're not giving us information that we want out of this workshop. We can't tell you the stories that you are sharing with us, how valuable it is to Derrick and I as we go back to, in 2 weeks, we're meeting with the full 4-H faculty in Lubbock and giving them an update on kind of what.
I'm writing down some of the highlights here.
Yeah. So no, but that's good. We need to hear these things so that we can go back and say, see, this is why we need to change it. So
we're getting 2 different stories, you know, of how we need to be doing this. It's like if you let your child use that grammar and stuff like that, well, one time you get counted off. So then the next time you try to pump it up a little bit and say, well, let's use this word instead. And then you're getting counted off because you're, you know, but then at the same time, it's like you also have to think about where some of these children, you know, you're not meeting that child.
yeah. Right.
So are we judging it on what they actually did? Or, you know, because if you meet the children, sometimes you see that this is how they speak, or this is what they did, or this is, but then, you know, so I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the
I have
judging
two
of it is so
different
subjective. Yeah.
Exactly.
I have 2 different children at home, and one of them's going to say he got, you know, went and saw lots of lambs, and then the other one's going to say I saw an abundance of lambs.
Yeah.
You know? So it's kind of like, you know, that frustrated me too,
Certainly.
in that sense, because I'm like, holy hell, all you have to do is talk to that child, and I promise you, he's going to use
That's
the
how
word.
it talks. Yeah.
He's going to use the word toward. I don't know where he comes from. I would say he got switched at the hospital, but he has too many other characteristics that say he belongs to me. But, you know,
Gosh. Yeah. Good
so
point.
it's just frustrating as a former 4-H'er, parent,
Sure.
leader, you know, it's just like, just give us what we
This is a
need.
good time, Jodi, since we're talking about the judging process. Or do you
Here,
want-
let's wait till
Okay.
this next round.
Oh, no.
No, it may help address some of these
We
things that
hope.
are bringing up, we hope.
We want to hear from you on it.
Last week was my daughter's first record book, and I did help her as much as I could because of the way that everything was written. It was not, the standard operating procedures were not extremely clear. And I had a lot of calls to our club manager that 2 weeks that we were working on it. And Claire did whatever I asked her to do, but I have to come back and go, okay, we need to, she'd go, okay, fine. And then when you lead to the judging and you get contradicting comments from judges, it's like, could we please have training for all of our judges? Give them the rubrics, give them something so that they can, I know you're gonna,
Yes, ma'am.
I was just going to say, out of our club, there's only 2 families that use a record book. None of us other families do one because every time we've gone to do one, it's so complicated that as a parent, if you weren't in 4-H, you don't have a clue what to do and how to
You're
direct your
intimidated,
kids.
yes.
Yeah, here's a blank page, fill it
That's
out.
why I'm here to get some pointers on how they can share that with the 22 other families in my club that's not doing a record book.
Yeah.
Because we all get together and we're like, oh no, because we just went.
Yeah, no one in my
You know, we don't know.
Really?
You can do it.
It's
You
not,
can do it.
You know, it's not friendly for the ones that didn't do 4-H and just trying to
Yeah.
expand, you know, our kids. I find it